Shalom, assalamu alaikum. Peace to the kings and the queens of the earth. How's everybody doing on this Thursday? Hope everyone's having a great day. Staying warm, getting some vitamin D, getting some sun, staying healthy, and pushing through our obstacles. Today, I want to, start off by giving some prayers. If you guys know, if you're from Buffalo, upstate New York, if you're a Bills fan, if you're from Buffalo, you know, our prayers are with Mike Williams. I thought he had passed, but he's actually on life support. Mike Williams was an amazing receiver from Buffalo. He's actually from Buffalo, but he went to Syracuse, played about 5 years in the league, and finished off in Buffalo, and really put it down for the town when he was back home. And he is in Florida fighting for his life right now through a construction accident. It reminds me of me. You know, some people just think that you're in the league and like, oh man, you shouldn't have to work construction, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know, who we had to take care of. And 5 years in the league, from a person who just was hopping around, probably, doing a few minimal contracts or a few big ones here. It's not that much money considering the economy and the plane. And if you have, let's say you have kids or something like that, or maybe a property or a family to take care of, the money that you made from 2016 is probably, gone. And you need to do some more things. So he reminds me of me because I've done that before. I also got onto construction. I worked pretty soon after I played. And people don't really know. You put yourself in that front line and things can happen. So I want everyone, if you're listening, send a shout out, send some vibes, send some prayers, send some motivation to Mike Williams right now, who is fighting for his life. Today's talk also is about literally the political realm and how corny it is getting. The political realm and basically how corny it is. It's definitely the fall of Babylon. I think that I actually don't think I know. We've never seen such desperate ideology being forced down people's throat. We've never seen bold racism come back around and be confronted and pretty much, it's not bold. It's kind of still cowardly at the same time because it's manipulative and they don't like to be called racist, even though they know they are. So it's still that I'm a KKK. I'm scaring you. Meanwhile, I had the hood over my face to protect because I'm usually a police officer or a person who doesn't want to lose their job but wants to continue to spew hate at the same time I'm doing it. And the reason why I came up with this motivation is because the simple fact that if you look at specifics, right, look at the United States of America candidacy and the realm and the political situation that's going on, I am not coming on here promoting one specific party, right? I'm not on here talking Democratic because that's the first thing that people want to assume is that, oh, you're probably Black and Democratic. And I used to be that way because that was the only side that I thought that was actually talking for actual people, excluding me. It seems that, every once in a while, you'll get some Democrats who are revolutionary, and you'll get some Republicans who just are kind of on the fence, but they'll say specific things. At this point, I think you have to understand it has nothing to do with Republican or Democrat. Both political parties have left one, as far as my concern, the Black contingent just left out there. Of course, there's policies, and of course, there's things that happen, but it's just ridiculous how one party can just talk about it and do nothing, and the other party can just not talk about it and not do nothing. So it's actually, if you look at it, you'd rather be not fooled than fooled. Basically, I remember the Honorable Louis Farrakhan when Trump and Hillary were running, and literally he was just telling you straight out, you're going to get manipulated by Hillary Clinton. They're going to tell you all that shit and then not do it. But you're going to get more straight talk from Trump, and you did. You got wild straight talk, and he empowered an entire group that turned around and tried to stop the vote by attacking the Capitol Hill on January 6th, and now these cowards and these pussies are crying because they're actually crying because they're actually getting literally years, 15, 17, 22 years behind bars. Most of these guys probably never even been in jail and never thought that they would do anything to get in jail. And once you have a president who is calling for Proud Boys, stand up and stand down, calling for you to whatever. What you know what I'm trying to say? Like you are empowered. And so it didn't really shock me. It shocked me, but considering the president, considering what was being said, considering what is being said, right? Like, here's what we got to get out of as far as the hypocrisy really is the corniest thing that I've ever seen in my life. It makes me sick. It's disgusting. It's cowardless. Like, it's like you guys are cowards, not cowardless. You're cowards fully, because you literally will sit there and you in 2016, does everyone remember when Hillary Clinton, they were screaming for her, lock her up, lock her up. They were screaming. That was the call. Fox News is on the fucking. We can't have a candidate who could potentially be under investigation. Well, 7 years later, now your entire network looks like a piece of shit, because not only are you trying to push a candidate who's now has like 74 total cases on him, multiple felonies. This guy's going to jail, I believe. You have to get him in there. And I'm literally thinking that people were literally waiting for the right time, and to see when he was going to, try to come back, and they waited and waited and waited and got the right evidence to then go after these people. These people were so empowered by Trump. It's like a drug. And here's why it's like a drug. It's a drug that doesn't do anything for you. I don't really understand this love for this man. Considering the main people, what drives us crazy, the main people who love him, they don't want to be called racist, but some of them are. And they're like, well, you're at a Trump rally and this. And most of those people are middle-class citizens making under $100,000 a year. There's not one policy that man will do to help any of you. But that's the main people who are voting for him. It's really weird. And there's some people who are like the white supremacists who they love to have some kind of embottled thing. And they literally thought that Trump was going to pardon them. Oh, I know he is. He doesn't even pay his bills. How are you going to trust a man that's been bankrupt 11 times? How are you going to trust a man who's had, multiple, they ran down his whole background, multiple cases. It's ridiculous. And the hypocrisy is on a whole level, because at the same time, if this was a different black or different candidate, he wouldn't even make it. It'd be in jail right now. Any American citizen who's even a Trump supporter, you take documents and put them in your bathroom, you're going to jail. So what makes him above you? He's the president who didn't do anything. He didn't do anything for you either. It's really weird. It makes our country, actually, it doesn't make us look weird. It just heightens up the skirt of our fuckery. And the hypocrisy, again, is on a whole fucking level. It's corny. It's like, how can you not say that? How can you not see this? And I don't think it's hypocrisy. I think it's a game that's being played. Because you get these people in the corner, you get a person who's on that page, they refuse to acknowledge. They'll say things like race doesn't exist, racial discrimination doesn't exist. And then 2 days later, someone kills 3 black people in the name of white supremacy in a Dollar General in Jacksonville. It's going on as we speak. A man is still literally ahead of all the polls. And he is facing facing multiple. And he won the vote. It's clear he did. And there is 52 different audits. I remember the one Fox News commentator who actually had a backbone, and it's kind of funny they don't keep him around anymore. He cooked Trump because he literally just pressed on him. He's like, okay, there's 52. They're like, out of all these things, you still think that the vote was cheated? How about this? How about the biggest thing in hypocrisy that's getting you? How about karma? The judges that were appointed by Trump still gave these people 17 and 22 years. They were appointed by Trump. So what do you think? His Blacks for Trump lawyer needs about 40,000, right? Needs about 40,000 to get through. Leaving him hanging. He's not paying anything. He's not paying for your lawyer fees. He's not going to pardon anybody. And I honestly think that if you see him, a desperate man, just yelling and screaming, releasing in all these videos and talking, I believe that he doesn't want to spend one day in jail. And I don't think he really will. And I think that he is the epitome of a privileged white Caucasian who doesn't think he'll ever go. And then once they actually go, because the law actually catches up, see how they break down. See how that Proud Boy broke down? Howard took the motherfucking place back, da, 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 da. And then you hear him crying, screaming, I'm like, yeah, that's why I came to food, like crying. You couldn't even do probably 2 years in there. And now you're going to do 15 or 17 or 22. See, that shit is real when it comes out. And they knew they had to do that because they also know that if this was an entire Black Lives Matter situation that we try to take the shit back and go crazy, they would have killed us and shot us and there would have been war out there. It would have been war. And the fact that no one really acknowledges the fact that there were cops that were killed during this insurgency, they would have fucking attached murder to it. RICO charges murder, everything, every fucking thing. And I honestly think that they had to protect democracy from people who were claiming false situations. Fox News gave $1 billion for fake news, and people still will go to Fox News. So this is a drug at this point. And it gives them a shield. This drug gives these people a shield to just ultimately say, I just don't want to, this is for my white races. That's why it's funny when I see Blacks for Trump. He's not doing shit for you. He give two fucks. and those people who are Black for Trump could give two fucks either. Those are the ones who were back if it was 150 years ago, they'd be wanting to say like slavery is good for us, actually. Those are those. There was always one. See, when you read, right, and you look and you research history, you know that it repeats itself. So ain't none of these coons, these little Black people who are riding a coattail, none of it really makes sense and none of it actually affects me or makes me mad because that's historic. We always got some. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan stated that this ain't no peace party. This ain't no unity party. We all ain't going to be in the same thing. There's going to be some punks out there that's going to sideswipe it and backstab. And so when it comes to, again, the hypocrisy is corny because I would respect you if you had, it's not about Republican and Democrat. I respect you if you had great policies. My guy, who I kind of like on the Republican side is Christie. People want to sleep on him. I like Christie. And I don't know if I like anybody on the Democratic side. I heard that Michelle Obama was talking about, or not Michelle, I'm sorry, oof. Kamala Harris, the other Black vice president, you know what I'm saying? Kamala Harris is talking about, why am I going to take over? And you ain't doing nothing either, Kamala. None of y'all doing nothing. You went over to Ghana to promote your LGBT agenda. When pressed about what are you going to do with Black people, you got all defensive. And there is nothing being done but a Juneteenth holiday and pretty much some fake student loan agreement bullshit. That's all that's been done. Like, I don't really, again, you can't fool a real Black man who's tired of the token Black bullshit that you like to hand out to us, right? Because you got in the office, and now you got to give us pennies. Oh, thank you for voting for me. Let's give him a little holiday. Let's like, this is getting out of hand. And at the end of the day, there needs to be something done in the political forum. And I honestly think that the people who are riding for Trump, you're gonna rock with him right down into the dumpster, right? But it's kind of ironic. I'm not going to say nothing, but there's places where I'm at right now. I slowly see Trump flags disappearing. Not because people are pulling them down, but I think any smart human being finally understands, okay, this is, maybe I made a mistake. You know, because when you do the facts and the facts speak on a logical, bias level, you still understand that this is wrong. And if you don't think, well, hey, that's okay, I don't care, then you just, there's no changing you. But I think you will get changed, but it'll just be too late. Y'all have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the talk.